Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on Beyond Crazy. Today, the plan got changed up a tiny bit. So today was supposed to be the beginning of the Thanksgiving Day recipes, and don't worry, those videos are definitely coming. Watch out for our next upload here. But we came in today, and Crystal isn't feeling good. So we're gonna make some homemade chicken noodle soup. I was just gonna whip it up off of camera, and then we thought, why not make a video out of it? There's a lot of really good basics to build on through this recipe, so let's get it started. Okay, so I know what everyone's thinking that as soon as you see the recipes here, or the ingredients list here, is I'm using chicken stock out of a can. If you have the opportunity to make chicken stock, literally, I haven't ran it in video, probably should have before now, but if you have the ability to, it's gonna make this 10 times better. If you don't, this is gonna work perfectly fine. I'm gonna show you how to make it with this. Just to start here, go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. You're also gonna start a large pot on a rolling boil. Awesome. To start this recipe, we're going to do what is called a bouquet bernice, which is going to be a small amount of cheesecloth, kitchen twine, and your herbs. You're gonna be essentially making a tea bag out of these herbs to be put inside there without having to strain out any of the stock. Oddly enough, you are going to use just the ends. So you're gonna use just the stem of this. Okay, this is just parsley stem, an entire bushel of thyme, and an entire bushel of sage. I'm just gonna cut everything in half so that I'm able to roll this up properly. All of this. Best way I found to do this is to fold it halfway over, grab the actual herb and roll it all the way. And then you're gonna tuck these edges down, and then you're gonna come in with some of your kitchen twine. And I'm about to tie the forbidden knot on this thing. Just making sure these ends are down. Awesome. And then here we have it. It's gonna be the little tea bag of herbs. It's gonna be a lot of flavor coming out of this thing. Super, super important. Definitely don't throw these away. Put these aside for later. We're definitely gonna still use them. So now we're gonna start our marrow pot, which is going to be a white onion, carrot, and celery. I normally go a bit smaller for the onion dice and a bit bigger, like half-inch pieces for the celery and the carrot so they don't turn into mush. Okay, and if you're making stock, keep those little ends. Keep the top and the bottom of the onion. Awesome. So now it's time to do the carrots. I am gonna peel them. So now I'm just gonna take the ends off. I'm gonna go ahead and cut them the tall way, make little squares out of them. I'm gonna not go too small. Like I said, I don't wanna turn these into mush. They're gonna be cooking for about 25 minutes, so probably about half an inch. My normal thing is if it's as long as the blade, I'm willing to cut down it. So for this, I'm gonna find it however flat of a surface as I can. I'm gonna cut it the long way. And then whenever you're cutting anything, always make sure that the biggest surface area is laying down. Whether that means turning your onion on its side after you get to a certain point and then flipping it down like you saw me do earlier, or something like this. Make sure the biggest contact space is on the cutting board. So now that they're in halves, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna leave these in about half inch pieces, and I'm gonna repeat. Don't think I forgot, I'm gonna wash these in a colander. All right, I'm not gonna lie, this should be equal parts, so it should be equal parts all. I think I'm gonna do another half of the white onion just to even it out. Use the whole chicken, it's $6. It's gonna be worth it. You're gonna get a lot more yield off of it, and it's gonna be great. Make sure you're using a very sharp knife when you do this. If you have a filleting knife, that does work best. I don't have one on hand right now, and this is the only sharp knife I've got right now, but that's okay. Just keep in mind, this step is completely optional. It's not needed for the recipe, but it takes it to that next level in my opinion. And so if you're not wanting to do this, like I said, it's optional. You can just go ahead and pick up a couple of either chicken tenders or a couple of chicken breasts and just do it that way. So I've got a medium-sized saucepan here on about 80% heat. I'm gonna come in with some high smoke point oil. Mine is going to be avocado oil. If you're going to use butter, just turn your heat down to probably like 60-70% so that it doesn't burn during the cook. You're just wanting a couple tablespoons on the bottom. It's just so that when you're cooking the chicken, it can build that fond. It's really gonna build that depth of flavor. So I've got these thrown in. I'm only gonna par cook these, so I'm gonna flash cook them for about 2 minutes each side. It's just gonna give them a sear. It's not gonna be completely cooked because it's gonna continue to cook with everything else once we throw it all together. So this has been running for about 2 minutes now. I'm gonna come in here, flip it over. It's nice and golden brown. I'm gonna let it run for about the same amount of time. I'm not looking to cook it all the way through, just put a nice crust on it. I'm gonna put that on a plate to the side and show you how to build soup. Let's get this off. So it's been about 2 minutes on the other side. I got a good color on this side as well. I'm gonna transfer these. I know, it's not done yet. Just be patient. So I'm gonna turn down the heat just a bit, so now it's on about 50% heat. This is what I was talking about earlier, that fond. You see all these crusty, this crusty bits that are there? That's all of our flavor, okay? We're gonna get all of that up and into the soup right now.
No.
And not with flour. We're not doing a roux, we're not doing all of that, okay? We're just gonna deglaze and it's gonna be perfect. I'm gonna come in here with 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter, okay? Like I said, it's on 50% heat. I'm gonna par brown this butter, meaning I'm not gonna let it go all the way brown, but look, it's already ready, okay? So it's not burnt yet, but it's brown. Turn this off, and I'm gonna put in all of our good stuff here, all of our mirepoix. I'm gonna give this a good mix. So this has been running for about 3 minutes now, okay? What I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna come in with 2 containers of our chicken stock. So now that I've got that done, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this up to high. I'm gonna bring it to a rolling boil and I'll show you what to add next. So now that we're at a hard boil, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this down to low, just so that we're at a simmer. I'm gonna add in our bouquet, and then I'm gonna re-add our chicken. I'm gonna put a cover on this, and we're gonna let this simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes or until your chicken is cooked all the way through. I'll show you what to do inside the meantime with chicken skin. So for this chicken skin, you notice I took off the fat. I'm gonna go ahead now and take a half sheet tray, put down a layer of parchment, and then put the chicken skins as flat as I can get them on that parchment before lightly salting them and spraying them with a little bit of cooking oil. So these are gonna take about 20 minutes to finish. I'm gonna wait about 5 minutes. I just put that chicken down. Once that's done, I'm gonna put that in, and hopefully everything comes out at the same time looking beautiful. So these are getting thrown inside the middle of this oven on this sheet tray at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. Once those are done, they might take a couple minutes more, a couple minutes less. Keep a good eye on them. Once they're done, I'm gonna transfer them from the parchment paper onto a piece of paper towel. Sweet, I'm just checking our chicken right now. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these out, separate onto a plate. Let's give these a couple seconds to cool down until you can handle them with your hands. If you don't wanna wait like me, I'm gonna use 2 forks and pull them apart. I'm gonna go ahead, re-add my chicken, and I'm going to remove our flavor tea bag. I'm just gonna squeeze it out as much as I can. Give this a nice mix. It's the age-old saying, don't salt your soup before you taste it. So with that being said, I'm gonna continuously taste this, adding a small amount of salt to my soup. I'm gonna let everyone in on the secret right now to Perfect Chicken Noodle Soup. And that is to keep your noodles and your soup separate. No one likes some soggy noodles that have been left in there the day before, or they're overcooked. So what I normally do with this is I take 2 minutes off of the cook time of whatever pasta you're gonna be using, and I store that separately. And I'll put that all together when I plate, and then that's also when I'll add in those leaves as well from that parsley. So our chicken skins have been here for about 25 minutes now. I'm gonna remove them, and I'm just gonna transfer them onto a paper towel. This is gonna help take off all that excess oil as well. They're gonna get nice and crispy.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, we're gonna let Aaron try it first so I don't get him sick. This is like the best comfort food when you're not feeling good.
That is so good.
Is that good?
Chicken is amazing.
So growing up, my mom used to make chicken noodle soup on like Sundays. Like she started in a crock pot and she'd make little muffins. It was like my favorite thing growing up. And then I was so excited and I made this chicken noodle soup, my mom's recipe, for Aaron. And he was like, Crystal, it has no seasoning, no nothing in it. And then I went to my mom and I was like, why didn't we use any seasoning? She's like, because I never knew how to season growing up. And so she's been learning and like growing, like Aaron and Tristan have been like, oh, you use this and that. And she's like, oh my gosh. So it's elevated her recipe, but it's absolutely amazing. What is the crunchy stuff? Oh my gosh, it's so good.
It's baked chicken skins.
Really? That's so good.
It adds a nice crunch into the soup, you know?
I don't know if it's just because I'm sick, but this is 11 out of 10. I won't even give it a 10 out of 10. It's an 11. Thank you.
You are very welcome. I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Tristan made some chicken noodle soup. He said this was classic. I haven't quite made chicken noodle soup like this, but it really looks good to try, doesn't it?
It does. And one of my favorite things about chicken noodle soup is how it like tastes and like the food inside it. And I also love the broth. It's amazing. It's actually amazing. Broth has the right texture.
When I make my chicken noodle, it's just plain because that's how my kids always liked it. This is really good. It makes me wonder if I should try this and see if they would eat it because it's really good. It's got a good flavor to it.
Yeah,
Which I've never done the flavor packet like he had in there.
it was amazing. I'd rate this a 10 out of 10.
That's what I would rate it also. It's not overpowering, but it's still got a really, really good flavor.
So Tristan said he had some brand new chicken noodle soup. I have never seen it made so fancy as I was watching him cook it all up. Let's try it out.
It looks delicious.
It looks really good.
It's really good.
That flavor, mwah, chef's kiss.
I'm so glad that the chicken's not dry. Usually with like chicken noodle soup, the chicken's like dry and
It's hard to get it just right, but
yeah.
he did super good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I also
Good
feel
job.
like the noodles get way too soggy and like they disintegrate in your mouth by the time you're ready to actually eat it. So like the fact that the noodles are like holding their form and like it just all well prepared.
Yeah, the consistency of everything is like super good. Even the carrots, like they're perfect.
I mean, as far as chicken noodle soup goes, I'd probably give this a 9 out of 10. One of the best chicken noodle soups I've ever tried.
10 out of 10.
That's what
No,
I give it to.
I'd probably give it a 9 so I don't make Tristan angry.
No, I give this a 10 out of 10. It's by far the best chicken noodle soup I've ever had.
All right, everybody, and there you have it. That's how I make chicken noodle soup for the people that I care about. Sorry, Crystal, I know you're not feeling well, and I'm also kind of sorry that I made a video out of it. I hope you feel better. Keep your eyes peeled for our Thanksgiving recipes video. It should be dropping any day now for you guys. Super excited to get everyone's feedback on every recipe in there. Love you guys. See you in the next one.